do you think like people should set very clear strategy and the end goal for their IELTS journey?
Yes,
right
definitely, because you also have to budget your time. If you have, say, if you have 10 months, then that probably means you have a good enough time to go over all of the skills. But if you only have 2 months, then you kind of have to target your weak spots. So that's where you kind of have to calibrate and find out. So let's say, for example, it's reading that you struggle with, then make sure that those 2 months are really spent on
the skill that needs
to be improved, because if you keep going over all of it, or let's say, even if you think that your speaking skill isn't the best, but actually that's not what needs work. Sometimes I think what happens is candidates don't often evaluate themselves correctly. So in that sense, you need an expert, probably, if you have a teacher, get them to evaluate and find out, so which of the skills do I really need to focus on.
Yes, and like you have to be not afraid to go out and like just make mistakes, right? Because no one is so good at it at the beginning, right off the bat. We all have to start somewhere, right? So say you were mentioning that about IELTS, we can target particular skills, or we could just work at it on a whole level, like everything at once. How do you suggest that, say, a person only have 24 hours and a student has to go to school, and if they are in uni, they might have to do part-time jobs or doing internships and everything like that as well. So how should they prioritize their skills and their time to work on all 4 skills, or say if in only 24 hours?
Yeah. Well, if you have 24 hours, I think you really, really have to be honest with yourself. Whenever we say, oh, I don't have time, but you had time for Facebook for 2 hours, or you were Instagramming, or you were TikToking. So all of these things, if you have 24 hours, then make sure that you're using that in English, okay? So let's say, for example, if you're gonna be out with your friends, why don't you listen to some background English music?
Oh, I see.
Or if you're gonna be reading something, let's say you need to catch up on the news, then why don't you do that in English as well?
Now it's time to study IELTS.